Hi everyone, and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And today I want to talk about your hand position at the setup. Now it might be something that you've not thought of even too much before this video, but I can tell you what, it really has an effect on a lot of things that happen in the golf swing as far as your setup, how your hands work, and even how your body works. So it's just as something as simple as putting your hands in the right place can be a complete game changer and really help your golf swing. So here's what I want to do first is to show you what a bad or not so good hand position would be. So it would be your hands would be a little bit too low. And when I say low, it's relative to where impact is. So if I get ready to go and my impact is up into here, you can see when the weight of the club pulls on my hands on the way down, it forms a straight line in my arm. My arm lines up with the shaft. My lead arm does. It allows my trail arm to get on the back of the shaft. So my hands are a little higher. But if I start here, if I start with my hands a little lower, okay, based on I have the correct grip, there's a few things that you'll notice. From down the line, it just looks like my hands are low. Well, if I face the camera, you can see we kind of start to have a few problems here. One is I've got an extreme cup in my left hand, making sure that, again, that my grip is on there correctly, which is, again, if I just let my arm hang, that's how my joints line up. So that's how my left hand is going to go on the club. But if my hand just stays low and centered, you can see that it puts almost stress on my left hand. And my shoulders, it makes my right shoulder move up. So from here, it feels like I have to do 2 or 3 things to actually get the golf swing started. I feel like I have to make an adjustment here. Then all of a sudden, the club goes out. Now my body can start to turn, but it becomes very complicated. So as you can see, if I go down the line as well, and my hands start way down here, the variance is very big for me to get up into impact. So I don't want to feel like I start so far away from impact. Now, what I would say is that the correct way, or in my opinion, a better way to set your hands into the club was, again, I'm going to start from the very beginning. So the leading edge is going to run up the shaft line here because, again, the face isn't on the golf ball and we're not at impact yet. Then you take your grip in the fingers and over, and then your right hand slides on your thumb so it matches the face. Next, what I want to do is get a little bit closer to impact. So the weight in the golf club, if I just let it set my wrist, you can see one of the things that it does right away is it makes my left hand or lead hand goes a little bit more flat, which is it's a lot more comfortable for me at the setup. The other thing that it does is it gets me closer to impact. So if I set up this way, now impact's right here, so I'm pretty darn close to impact. Those are 2 big things already that we have an advantage of if you just set your wrist. Another one is it allows me to feel or make sure how far away I am from the golf ball. It's easy for me to set my hands in, get behind the golf ball here, and then set up to my golf club. And I can do that with any club. So with any club, if I set my hands in, set the face behind the ball, and now I can set up to the club. So it really gives me, it takes the questioning out of how far away I should be from the golf ball. Now for me, as a guy that struggled from across the line because my right shoulder, right arm couldn't work because it was a little jammed up and locked up because of where my hand position was, I had spent years trying to get the club so it wasn't so across the line. This is what helped. It helped for me to get my hand set, because when I do this now from down the line, if I just set my hands in and set up to the ball, you can see that my right arm gets more on line with the shaft. My left arm gets a little bit higher from down the line. And you can see I feel like I'm underneath the golf ball. It actually internally rotates, which is a big problem for people that go across the line. Their arm won't rotate this way. So again, if I get my grip on there and I set my hands in and I set into the golf ball, now I just, all I lever the face back and my arm starts to work in its shoulder socket. So my arm is already internally rotated a little bit, and as I swing back, it helps me rotate. Now it's like I don't even have to think about it. Before, with my hands lower, I felt like I had to hinge here, get my shoulders where I needed to set them, and then force the face into a position up top so I was able to shallow the club on the way down. And through all that thinking, a lot of times it wouldn't even work. I would feel like I was doing so much in the backswing that I couldn't even think about impact. So it cluttered my mind so much it was hard to play with that hand position. Now from face on, if I get my hands low, you can see what it does to my shoulder. See, my right arm gets a little more on top, my shoulder gets stuck. Now if I get here and set my hands and set it behind the ball, you can see that it sets me underneath the golf ball and it puts my arm into a place where it can work. If we already know where we want to go in the golf swing, it's really important that you set yourself up and you set your body up and your joints and your alignment so they can work. So imagine this, if I were to go into my impact position, and now just swing away, as much as it kind of looks goofy at the very beginning, it puts me in a pretty good spot up top because of now my body can work the way it needs to get back to impact. So what I would suggest is going through a step-by-step process and see if this helps you. I know it's helped a lot of my students. It's so much easier to swing the club. You get set up in the right position, how your body wants to work, and now basically all you have to do is lever and turn and you're done. You're already at the top of your swing. So if I get into my grip again, okay, so very first thing, the leading edge runs up the shaft line. The grip goes in my fingers. I wrap my hand on top. Then my right hand slides and it goes right on the side of the grip so it matches the face. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to feel like I set my wrist now. And so when I do set my wrist, the face does look a little bit more square because that's what's going to happen at impact. So when I set my wrist, I feel, so again, set my wrist. It doesn't put any tension on my arms. It just sets my wrist so the face stays flush on the ground. It squares it up a little bit more, so it's going to put my hands a little more high and a little more to the left, and now I know how far away to get from the golf ball. So now when I swing back, it feels very much easier to get, a lot easier to get into where I want to be. So again, I get ready to go, and now I can feel I can get the club where I want it. And it's much easier to make that swing. So again, if you're having trouble with either discomfort at the setup or discomfort in your backswing, try again getting the right grip first and then feeling like your hands set. So they're going to feel a little bit higher, a little bit more left. It should feel like you're already ready to go, and it's much easier to make a backswing. So try this. I hope it helps and it makes this game a lot more enjoyable. Like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf. Want to take a live lesson from me, or you have a question? Visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com. And thanks for watching.